This is the story behind the story, how I pulled together a documentary podcast on the 1973 Paris Air Show crash in under 24 hours. Let's start with why. About 15 years ago, I watched a PBS Nova documentary called Flying Supersonic. It hooked me. A Soviet jet exploding mid-air in front of 250,000 people. I've been obsessed ever since. I've always said I'd do something with that story. This week, I finally did. This behind the scenes episode explains how I pulled it off, the tools I used, the process I followed, the wins, the fails, and the workarounds. Step 1, research. I started with interest and a vague memory, but I needed data, timelines, first-hand reports. I used Google Scholar, a free, powerful tool for primary source research. I found detailed documents on the Tu-144 crash, Soviet engineering, and Cold War politics. Then I dropped everything into NotebookLM, Google's study companion tool. It summarized documents, created timelines, and even suggested more sources. What worked? NotebookLM was incredible at breaking down technical papers. It suggested sources. It built FAQs. It even generated a podcast script, which became my version 1. What didn't work? Your chats are stored locally. I used my office desktop. Later at home, I couldn't access anything. Tip: use your laptop so you can work anywhere. Step 2, story structure. Once I had the facts, I needed a narrative. I used ChatGPT to create a rough script, then bounced between ChatGPT and NotebookLM, refining the story back and forth. It reminded me of how I used to translate content at Yahoo. You translate it in one tool, then back translate in another. If it matches, it's accurate. If not, something's off. That's what I did here. It worked. I wanted the podcast to feel episodic, like Serial, so I asked ChatGPT to model the flow after Sarah Koenig's style: layered, suspenseful, intimate. I also asked for other podcast examples. Eventually, I ended up using the NotebookLM version. It had better pacing. OpenAI was fast and creative. NotebookLM had structure, detail, and better storytelling instincts. Step 3, technical setup. Here's where I needed help. Enter Grok. It walked me through audio setup, sonic layering, jetpass, explosion timing, and how to syndicate via RSS. Grok recommended Audacity for sound design. OpenAI did too. It's free and powerful, but clunky. Took me 30 minutes just to find the envelope tool. For the intro, I wanted the jet to move from left to right in your headphones. Grok told me to split the stereo WAV into left and right channels, adjust volume envelopes, and layer in the boom. It worked. It felt immersive. But something was missing: emotion. So I added a Russian pilot's voice. I used Cartesia AI. I asked Grok to write a few pilot emergency lines, filtered the best one, and uploaded it. Cartesia sounded clean, but flat. I needed panic. Grok sent me chasing toggles, APIs, even Postman. Didn't work. Then I found Cartesia's custom voice settings, maxed out anger and surprise. Still flat, but better. I layered it in Audacity, added distortion, spaced out words manually, and copied the final emergency to create a repeating effect. It finally worked. Grok helped me choose tools fast, but it took a lot of prompting to get exactly what I wanted. Step 4, voice production. I wanted to voice it myself, but time was tight. So I used Cartesia to generate narration using the NotebookLM script. I also tried transcribing the original with Otter II, but speaker labeling was off. The script did it better. But even then, transcripts don't handle overlapping speech. If one person says something and another responds with a quick ha ha, it disappears. So I abandoned the transcript method. I stuck with the original podcast audio. Step 5, publishing. Grok recommended publishing with Spotify for podcasters and syndicating with RSS. I signed up. It took 10 seconds. To publish, I needed 3 things. Cover art, I used Canva, 3000 by 3000 pixels. Audio, exported from Audacity. A description, I wrote it with ChatGPT and Grok. Other tools I used: Gemini for keyword research, Typefully to schedule and automate social posts, ChatGPT for writing the posts, YouTube for background footage and archival interviews. Final thoughts. This podcast came together fast, but not without friction. I wasn't trying to make it perfect. I just wanted it done. Here's what helped. All the tools let me sign in with Google. That made onboarding easy. Most gave free credits to start, but what you really want is always behind a paywall. I probably spent about $150 on subscriptions. All but one accepted Stripe or Google Pay. That made signups frictionless. These tools are clearly optimized for speed, and that's what made this possible in under 24 hours.